the late 60s, very early 70s, the art department was very active and very political. Because you've got to remember then there was the Vietnam War was on, and the art department was into being very proactive. I remember we got into trouble because we put these, because this is when I was a student, we put these banners out the front, and then I remember one day Gough turned up before he was elected and went through the place, and we stirred him up a little bit. And then I remember another student who we were always making strange statements. We had one student that decided to become a tube of toothpaste, so he made up a costume and lived in a tent for a week on the floor in F building. I can't remember his name. And I reckon that all of that was good. We were into having good fun. Because of the split between the Gordon and Deakin University in 1977, Deakin took all its artwork with it, so we didn't have anything here. And I thought, well, I'll write to the director, Ray Davey, and suggest that we have an art collection. And I had this Transcendental Express and I had nowhere to put it, so I thought it was better to put it here at the Gordon in a safe place. So I said, I'll happily donate the painting, and Ray said, fantastic. So we had an annual grant of $10,000 a year from the Gordon Council to go and buy art. So we started buying art. And I was buying art right up until I left the Gordon in 1996. So that was the story behind that. Oh, well, it was the Andy Warhol, of course, which was rather special because I'd flown to Sydney because I was having an exhibition with Rex Irwin. Now, Rex Irwin is one of the top art gallery directors in Australia, and he had this fantastic gallery in Woollahra, and I was having a show up there, and I flew up, and the Andy Warhol exhibition was on, and it was his what I call Ladies and Gentlemen series. These were a series of screen prints based on drag queens from New York. So I decided that the Gordon should have one of these. So I did a deal with Rex to buy this print for $1,500, and I think you might know the story about that, how I then decided to bring it back to Geelong because I wasn't going to leave it in Melbourne. So I had to talk my way onto the plane in Sydney because it wasn't going to go in the baggage compartment. And then when I got to Tullamarine, I had a flight on a 6-seater plane to Grovedale, so I had to get this huge print into the plane. So I actually stood it on its edge with the front edge up against the dashboard of the plane, and I'm in the co-pilot seat with the pilot telling me what knobs to push and twirl as we took off to fly to back to Grovedale. And I make the point, you know, I reckon Andy Warhol would have been delighted to know that's how his print got to Geelong.